unless you necessarily have to. And I was at that point where I was like, necessarily, I'm not trying to call her because, you know, I told y'all, I know how my mama is. Long story short, I decided to go back to the house. I go back to the house. Y'all, he got the screen door locked. Like, excuse me, where they do that at? Y'all, I took my key. I cut that doggone screen on government quarters. Sure did. And entered my house. She was like, you sure you don't want me to wait? Nah, girl, you ain't gotta wait. Cause, y'all, I wasn't afraid of my husband. That was like far from it. I just didn't appreciate the brother having the screen door locked, okay? So I get in, Jasmine like, Daddy, yay, we were at blah, blah, blah house. Girl, I ain't tell you to say none of that. Child, y'all know children will put you on blast and you don't even be ready for them. Well, y'all, after she did that and she like goes and tell him where we at, I go to take Jasmine a bath. And you know, I'm having this conversation with her in the bathtub like, how you went and told him where we was? Dang, I wanted him to just be like wondering. That's how I wanted to leave the brother, wondering. Well, anywho, y'all, I goes to get into bed that night with him. Now, my husband is usually he go to bed early. And this is like early on in the army, you know. PT used to kick his butt. This night, it's like after 1 o'clock a.m. and he's still awoke. He's still awoke. He's so awoke that he is sitting up in the bed, on his side of the bed, and now he wants to talk. So I get into bed, y'all, and I'm not looking at him, not making no eye contact with him because, y'all ain't gonna lie, I'm a punk when it comes to my husband. I really am. I love this man so much. And like I said, I'm the fixer. I'm the fixer in our marriage. Now, I'm gonna have to say, now, we both are fixers, okay? However, y'all was trying to make a point. Okay, you can't make a point if you getting googly eyes over him and he's smelling all good and stuff. You can't do that. You gotta make the statement that I am not going to tolerate your ass being stubborn. So he's sitting in the middle of the bed and I get in the bed, y'all, right? And so just to make sure that there was some clear guidelines that you won't be getting none tonight, so don't even try it. Y'all, I got into bed and I was tucking that cover up under me like, you stay over there and I'm stay over here. You feel me? So honey, he was like, I'm not gonna bother her, I'm gonna leave her alone. She and her feelings, and so I'm gonna leave her there. Well, y'all, the next day come, right? The next morning, or later on that morning, I might say, he had to go to PT that morning, right? Y'all, he leans down to kiss me, right? And y'all, like the poltergeist, you know how the poltergeist was snatching people up out the beds and stuff? Y'all, you would have thought the poltergeist snatched me. Cause y'all, when I say I woke up out my sleep and I leaped back, nah, player, we ain't doing no kissing. We ain't doing none of that. I have to remain in my stubborn state of mind right about now. Y'all, he wasn't trying to hear that. He wasn't. And he was like, Steph, like, okay, hold up. He was like, I get it. You know, I talked to my dad. And, excuse me, hold up, rewind. You talked to who? He said he talked to his daddy, y'all. Really? Like, you really picked up the phone and called him. Like I said, y'all, we not that couple that we like our family being in our business. Our marriage is us and the Lord, okay? Us, James, Stephanie, and God. We all have a place in this marriage, and that don't include Rose, May Rose, Joe, Geneva, nor James Sr. Don't include none of them people, okay? Like, you sit down. Go sit. Sorry, y'all. You're trying to be walking around here lingering. No, sit your ass down somewhere. Anywho, y'all, I was so upset that he involved his father. Because I told y'all, parents don't do well with, you know, being biased. Now, I can honestly say that is definitely something I'm going to really try to do when my daughters start, you know, dating and get married and stuff like that. As long as dude don't put their hands on them, there won't be no covert operations. Do you feel me? So, y'all, when I say I just like that fueled the argument with what we was already arguing about, him not wanting to talk to me when I want to talk. It just fueled it, because now you can pick up the phone and you can call your daddy and you can talk to your daddy about what's going on with us. I had a serious problem with that. I told him, I said, you just, it's just best that you leave, because right now clearly it's not a good time for us to talk about this, because you got to go to work. You got to go to PT. And yeah, we're not gonna have no 5-10 minute conversation and think it's okay. No, we're gonna go into some depth with this conversation, okay? Y'all, let me tell y'all, you can learn something from a person that's stubborn. You wanna know what it is? It teaches you how to be stubborn too, okay? And y'all, he taught me. Okay, y'all, like I said, he taught me how to be stubborn. I learned from a world-class professional how to be stubborn. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I handled him when he came home for lunch that day. And by no means am I proud of this. However, I do think that this was the perfect setup for us to move forward and for him to get better at paying attention to his stubbornness. He came home that day, and y'all, I was ironing clothes.
Keep in mind, side note, I still had that money, right? I still had it. I hadn't given it back and said, let's put it back in the box. Still hadn't said that, okay?
So I'm ironing my clothes, watching The Young and the Restless, and here he come. He was like, he sat down in a chair and he was like, Steph, let's talk. I ain't say nothing. I kept ironing. So he said, okay, I get it. You don't want to talk now. That's fine. He was like, I'll do the talking. And y'all, I let him talk. Let him talk, and this is what he said. He said he gets it. He gets that here it is. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And yes, I had plans. I had plans with my life that at that time did not include starting a family. He understands that I have to be Stephanie first before I can be anybody else, including his wife. Even though we are one, I still have to feel like I'm doing something with my life other than being a wife and his daughter's mother. So he told me that it was very selfish of him not to be considerate of how I was feeling. And you know what? That is something that he is going to have to work on. And he was like, Steph, I don't want to lose you. I don't. And therefore, I am willing to put in the work. It's not going to be an overnight success, he said, but with time, it's something that I will truly, truly work on. Y'all, I was listening, but I'm going to tell y'all, honestly, I still was unresponsive, because you know what, he still had to learn how that felt, how that feels, that when you want to talk to me and I completely shut down on you. I'm a talker by nature. It's just in me, okay? And for me to go on mute, child, that's something big. I ain't gonna even lie. Shoot, it's big to me to this day. So with that being said, I continued to still be quiet, not talk. Y'all, he asked me where I was going because clearly I'm getting dressed. I'm ironing clothes. And I told him that I was going to the mall. Keep in mind, I still got that money, okay? And so he was like, okay, that's cool. And he was like, well, they were having some game with his company or something like that, and he needed me to drop him off. And I was like, I could do that. Now, I'm talking, but I'm short. I'm real short. And so he told me that he understand why I was being short with him. And he said, and that's perfectly fine. He was like, when you're ready to talk, just know I'll be ready to listen and talk back. So I was like, okay, self, we're gonna go the rest of the afternoon like this, and we'll pick him up and we'll see what happens then. Well, y'all, hours passed, dropped my husband off, went back to pick him up, and we still was being short, me. And, you know, when we got home and, like, we were getting ready to eat dinner, that's when I started talking to him, okay? And then we officially made up. All right, y'all. The first 3 years of our marriage is when we went through that whole experience. And I can honestly say, you know what? It was probably the grooming ground to him fixing that about himself. He made sure, and he assured me that he did not want to lose me, that I was the most important thing to him at that time. And you know what, we've just gone through too much, and we have came too far to just let something that can be fixed and something that can be changed get in between our love for one another. So I'm gonna tell y'all, it didn't happen overnight. It did not happen overnight. We have had had a couple of arguments thereafter, and you know, I would have to remind him now. I'd be like, there you go, being stubborn. But it was like, that's when he would check himself and he would fix that about him. And you know what? That's half the battle. That if the person that you're dealing with, your spouse, the love of your life, if they want to change, they will change. You can't make them change. You can't threaten them. You can't do none of that. And I'm gonna tell you, treating them bad don't help the situation. And my tactic is that sometimes people have to be put in those shoes to see how it feels in order to understand where the person is coming from. And y'all, that's all I was trying to do. I was just trying to let him see how he makes me feel. Let's flip the script and let's see how you deal with it with the shoe on your foot, okay? And y'all, he changed. He really did. And I can honestly say this now. My husband is no longer stubborn. He does have stubborn ways about him. However, when it comes to communicating, particularly about us, nah, he is not going to let that interfere with Mr. and Mrs. Long. No, he can be stubborn about other stuff that don't pertain to me. He can be stubborn with stuff at work and stuff like that. He can be stubborn about that, but he don't allow the stubborn demon to creep into our marriage anymore. And you know what? Sometimes you got to sit down and you got to have some heart-to-heart talks with your spouse. And when I say you have to let them truly know how you feel, you really do. You have to go to a very honest place. And, you know, you have to kind of flip the script on them and say, okay, if I did you like that, how would that make you feel? Would you like it? Would you like me to be threatening you all the time with stuff? Like, I don't believe in this either, ladies. Always talking about you're gonna leave your man, knowing damn well your ass ain't going nowhere. It's called stick it out. You didn't get married and have this extravagant wedding and all of this just to throw the towel in when stuff gets rough. No. You actually have to fight for it. And y'all, do you know one time Mr. Long told me I was being stubborn? Yeah, we got into an argument and he said I flipped it and I was acting like how he used to act. I was like, damn, me? He was like, yeah, you're being stubborn. And you know, y'all, I had to check myself too. But I told y'all, I learned from the best. I learned from a professional. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me story time. And if you guys continue to like these type of videos, please be sure to thumbs up. And if there's anything that you would like me to do a specific Get Ready With Me story time on, be sure to leave it in the comments. Be sure to thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. And y'all can check your girl out also on Snapchat or Instagram at I am EclecticNista. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.